So one of the questions on the block 2 quiz, nearly everybody got wrong. So I wanted to go through that so to make sure that everybody understood what it was. And what I will do is to put a question like this in the block 3 quiz as well. Okay, so the question that most people got wrong was this one. So we gave you the first 15 nucleotides of some DNA. So we gave you a sequence and we asked you what the first 15 nucleotides of the mRNA would be. And I think this exposed a little bit of a misunderstanding just about how transcription works. So I'm just going to go through this to explain what the right answer would be. So this is first 15 nucleotides of DNA, but obviously DNA isn't single-stranded, DNA is double-stranded. Okay, so if I just write that out again, I'm just going to do the first few. I won't write it all out. Okay, I'll just do the first few to get the message. That's what we call the sense strand. Okay, so that's the one that's actually got the messenger. So when we say the gene sequence, we mean the top strand, the sense strand. Okay. But what we need to do for this question is to work out what the antisense or the template strand would be. We need for this, we need our, so it's DNA. So we have A's, T's, C's and G's, and then our base pairing rules are A pairs with T and C pairs with G. Okay, so the questions that were like this, everyone was happy with. So if I fill in the template strand, that will be T, A, C, T, G, G, T, A, C. Okay, so that will be our template strand. Okay. The error crept in here. So when we have transcription, those strands separate. And we actually physically use the template strand to make the new molecule. Okay, so here we've got our DNA, and I'll just write that out again. TAC, TGG, TAC. So we have, we're going to use this to make a new molecule, in this case, of RNA. Okay, so in RNA we have the bases A, U, C and G. Okay, so C pairs with G in exactly the same way, but A pairs with U instead. Okay, so we need to swap T's for U's. So our mRNA is a 5', so T pairs with A. That still works actually. So we're allowed an A in RNA, so T pairs with A. A, now if we were doing DNA, it would be a T next, but because it's RNA, it's a U. Okay. C pairs with G, that's actually absolutely is normal. T pairs with A, we're allowed A's, we're in mRNA, that's fine. G pairs with C, C. And we've got another T, so that would be an A. But here again, we've got A, so that would usually be pairing with T, but because it's an RNA, it's a U. And then we've got a G. Okay, so that's our mRNA strand, which is a new copy of the sense strand. Okay, so that will be then going off into translation to make a protein. Okay, so you'll notice that the sequence was actually the same sequence as we gave you, just swapping U's and T's. So the answer was a lot easier than you made it out to be. The two answers that I had that were a bit weird, so the most common errors were this. Okay, some people gave me this. So they gave me the template strand of DNA, so they gave me TAC, TTG. Okay, so that was, they gave me the other strands of DNA, not the mRNA, so that was one mistake. The other error that a lot of people gave me was to do that but assume that it was made of RNA. So the other answer that I had was to have UAC, UGG, UAC. Okay, so what you've done was to make a template out of RNA. So this molecule doesn't exist, okay? This molecule never forms, okay? This is an error So what you'd done there was to give me the template and make the template out of RNA. The template is always made out of DNA. It just, this is nothing new, that just separates out. The new molecule is the mRNA that's made from the template. So actually, the answer to this question was way more straightforward than most people made it out to be. It was just the original sequence and swap T for U. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another question like that into the block 3 quiz, so that you can have another go at that. But most people made it more complicated than they needed it to be. Actually, all you needed to do was swap T's and U's in your mRNA sequence.